What is up, everybody? And we got some breaking news here on Tino's Time Wrestling and in the WWE. If you haven't seen by the thumbnail and you don't see it by the War Games thing behind me, Triple H, the game, has announced that we'll be having a men's War Games match and a women's War Games match at Survivor Series this year. This will not be Raw versus SmackDown. It will be much more story-driven. Triple H in an interview by The Ringer, everybody. That means War Games is back. Here is also an exclusive report by The Ringer. WWE Survivor Series will feature two War Games matches. Survivor Series will take place on November 26th from the TD Garden and will stream live exclusively on Peacock and in the USA and WWE Network, everywhere else, everybody. And if you guys don't know what War Games is, maybe you guys don't watch NXT, maybe you're not familiar with it, maybe you don't know where it has been, you don't know what this means if you don't watch NXT, because, you know, War Games has been around for a little bit, but there's those people that don't watch NXT. There's those people that just like Raw and SmackDown. And there's nothing wrong with that. And if that's what you like, that's what you like. But when NXT was at its best, when it was in NXT, when NXT was on the WWE Network, when it was on Peacock, or when it was on Hulu and WWE Network and everything, it was 1 hour. It felt like this dark, just phenomenal professional wrestling where we loved it. And War Games became a part of it. And War Games was that match that you would take 4 guys and 4 people and have a rivalry with 8 guys. And we would go into War Games. And it was that match that would settle the rivalry and settle everything. We've seen matches from all the way to one of my favorites, the Undisputed Era versus Ricochet, the War Raiders. That one was great. We also saw the women's one in Chicago, where we saw Tegan Nox get betrayed by her BFF, Dakota Kai at the time. I was at that one live. I was in that one at Chicago in 2019, before before the pandemic and before everything happened. And let me tell you, people, seeing War Games live was amazing. And one of those things that if you guys have not seen it and you have not watched it, you need to go back on the WWE Network or Peacock, wherever you guys all may be, and watch all of these matches. They're phenomenal. They're amazing. They're just matches that you want to see, and they're a match that ends a rivalry the way it should. So I wanted to let everybody know the rules of this match in case you have never seen one. So let's take a look at all of the rules of the match, War Games, that will now be taking place. And I took one. I think this one is from a while ago. Obviously, it has the NXT TakeOver sign. But these are going to be the rules for the match if you guys obviously don't know. But if you know, then you've probably seen this. But 2 teams will be contained in a special cage with 1 member of each team starting the match. After 5 minutes, a member of, at the time it was Undisputed Era, we missed them, Adam Cole baby, I'm wearing my Adam Cole attire. At the time, 1 member from Undisputed Era would be released from the match, and then after a 3-minute period, the ultimate member of the other team would come out. And at that time, it was Ricochet, it was the War Raiders, the Viking Raiders. They had like 17 names at the time. And then once all competitors have entered the match, so that means that the match isn't even going on, people, until we see what happens and until all 8 competitors, 10 competitors, how many competitors there may be. I see you guys in the chat. Leave your questions, leave your concerns. Let me know. I'll be answering all your questions. We'll stay live here for about an hour and a half. So if everybody wants to ask me some questions, drop your questions. I see you guys in the chat. Once all competitors have entered, War Games has officially begun. Escape or leave the cage. You forfeit the match for your team, everybody. Escape. You can't escape. You have to stay in War Games, and you have to be able to beat the hell out of each other. And then finally, the other one, the only way to win the match, I know you guys can't see it. Let me see if I move the banner. Yeah, there we go. The only way to win the match is by pinfall or submission. So that means you guys have to go inside and you have to go in, you have to be in the ring, and you have to pin the person in the middle of the ring, in either or ring, because if you see on my thumbnail, you see what the War Games match kind of looks like. I had to take the action figure one, that the creative one, because that was the best picture I could get. But anyway, that's what the cage looks like, and it's awesome. I cannot wait to see this match go down in WWE. This is going to be the first time it's on the main roster. It usually has only been on Peacock and WWE Network, on an NXT TakeOver, War Games. It has never been on the main roster. So this is huge breaking news, and this is something I've actually been talking about for a while, because we've seen a lot of things go down, and we've seen a lot of rivalries go down especially. And before we get into what I think this means and what I think the matches could possibly be, I wanted to show you guys kind of how it would be set up in a match type style if you guys have never seen. So I wanted to take a look at my favorite War Games match. It was the one that I saw live. It was Undisputed Era. It was Tommaso Ciampa, Keith Lee, Dominik Dijakovic, not T-Bar, whatever the hell they want to call him. And then Tommaso Ciampa was trying to find a partner, and he couldn't find one, so the match started with 3-on-4. But usually it's 4-on-4, 5-on-5. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a 5-on-5 this year, because if the rivalries sync up the way they're syncing up, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, this is kind of how it is. We see 4-on-4, 5-on-5, and at the time, Undisputed Era was literally in every single one of them. They were in the first one with Authors of Pain. They were in the second one. They were in the third one. They've been in almost every single one. And the last War Games match that we have seen, that we did see, was NXT 2.0 versus NXT Black and Gold. That was with Tommaso Ciampa. That was with Bron Breakker, Grayson Waller. We saw Johnny Gargano's last match. At the time, that was when Johnny Gargano, before he took his break, but he's now back in WWE. Thank God we got the Rebel Heart back in WWE. I miss my man Johnny Gargano, people. But I cannot wait to see what happens with this, because this is huge. We've been saying it, and I've been talking about it. I didn't think it would actually be official, but once it was one of those things that was like, damn, like this is going to be good, because now we have 2 months to wait and see what happens and see what matches get official. Obviously, there's been no matches made official for the War Games. There's just said there's going to be one men's and one women's. So let's talk about that. What matches could be in War Games this year at Survivor Series? Because if they're not doing Raw and SmackDown, which I absolutely love, I would rather not see Raw versus SmackDown, Intercontinental US Champion versus each other. I would rather not see all that. Let's have a Survivor Series where they're actually rivals. Maybe we see little brand supremacy if they want to keep the brand split. I've always talked about it, and I always say it on my other shows. Can we just please have rivalries of women and men fighting each other that doesn't need a title? That maybe Liv just hates Ronda because Ronda did this or that? Or why does it always need to be for a title? Can't we just have good rivalries? And War Games is one of those. And let's begin with the women first. The women's War Games match that I think it's probably going to be. Because we can obviously all predict and obviously all think and obviously all see what's going on in the storyline. We got Damage Control, we got Bayley, we got Io Sky, and Dakota Kai. And then on the other side, we got Asuka, we got Alexa Bliss, and then we got Bianca Belair. So that's 3-on-3. So we've seen a little tease where we saw Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah in the team and the members stand next to Alexa Bliss, Asuka, and Bianca. That was 5-on-3, and I said it at the time. After we watched that SmackDown, I said it, and I said, watch, guys, think about it. It's 5-on-3. What match could we do to settle a rivalry that's 5-on-3, 5-on-5? It's behind me. It's War Games, baby, and it's happening. We probably will see. Maybe they'll switch some people out. Maybe it won't be Aaliyah and Raquel Rodriguez anymore, but I think on the one side for the women's, it's going to be Damage Control. It's going to be Bayley. It's going to be Io. And it's going to be Dakota. And Bayley's been calling. She's been hanging out with her 2 BFFs. She's been doing her thing. She's been hanging out with them. And the only 2 people I could see it being is the returning Naomi and Sasha Banks. Naomi and Sasha Banks coming back and helping Damage Control. Say they're getting their ass beat 5-on-3. They're doing their whatever they're doing. They're just all of them beating the hell out of each other. And you hear the legit Boss's music, or you hear Feel the Glow, or if they want to bring new music, I'm down for it. But that would be awesome. And then that evens the odds because it's 5-on-5. Maybe they only bring one person back. Maybe they do only do 4-on-4. I would love to see 5-on-5 though. I know usually, like I said, it has been 4-on-4. I think one time it was, I think the NXT, yeah. I think that one was 4 versus, or what, yeah. But either way, I think that's gonna be what's happening for the women, because obviously it's the way it's been setting up. We've been seeing Bayley and Bianca fight each other and go at each other, and we're probably gonna see that match be made official for Extreme Rules probably tonight at some point while we watch Raw. I'm sure we're gonna see that, where they're gonna come out, they're gonna have some type of a talk, and we're gonna see that match. And maybe we don't see them for a minute. Maybe we don't see this match start building up for a little bit, because we do got 4 people, or we do got 2 months, 4 people. We got 2 months now, 2 months people. 2 months. We have 2 months until it is the pay-per-view. It is the November 26th, so it's not till November. We got a little bit of time to build it, but it's one of those things that I cannot wait to see what happens and see what the storylines goes with the women, because they've teased it. I've said it. I've heard other podcasters say it. We've talked about it, and it's just one of those things that I think that would be great to see, especially like Survivor Series. It used to be on the weekend of Survivor Series. It was the Saturday. It was Friday Night SmackDown. It was War Games TakeOver, and then it was Survivor Series. So adding it to Survivor Series just gives it Survivor Series even more. Like, I'm jealous. Like, I would have loved to seen a War Games Survivor Series match when I went in 2019. I mean, the 8 men that put on a show, because the member that joined Tommaso Ciampa's team ended up being the prize fighter, Kevin Owens. And me and my friend seeing Tommaso Ciampa and Adam Cole do that move and do that stunt and do that just everything they did, jumping off the cage onto the tables, was just, seeing it live was ridiculous, people. It's one of those things that I probably will never forget as a wrestling fan, and I just cannot wait. So seeing this happen is going to be awesome. But now, what's going to happen for the men? Because we really haven't seen, like, we've kind of seen it, maybe like a faction. Maybe we'll see like an Imperium, Brawling Brutes. Maybe we'll see a New Day. Maybe we'll see something like that, where something like that. But I'd kind of rather not see that. I would love, this is what I would love. I don't know how everybody else feels. I see all you guys in the chat. Let me give you guys all something to shout out. We got Ed in the building. We got Chris. What's up, Chris? How are you doing? We got Jocko in the building. What's up, guys? Thanks all for coming and hanging out. But for the men, I think that it would be a great idea. Obviously, it's Survivor Series, so why not do a Raw versus SmackDown? Have it be, I would say maybe Roman, maybe the Bloodline team versus Team Raw. Maybe Seth comes up with the team. Maybe Kevin Owens. Maybe Kevin Owens is as captain and he calls over Sammy, because maybe it's Roman, the Usos, and Solo Sikoa. Maybe it is only going to be a 4-on-4. The Usos, Solo, and Roman. And then maybe it could be Sammy, Owens, and 2 other guys. Maybe he calls a Tommaso Ciampa and maybe we see DIY get back together. That would be dope. Imagine DIY getting back together, going into War Games. The last time we saw Johnny Gargano, before he had that random ass got beat up by Grayson Waller for no reason, I think that would be great. See DIY and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Bloodline. Book it. That would be great. But, I mean, I would love to see something like that, because I think it would be phenomenal to see that type of match, because they're obviously going to have other matches. There's not just going to be 2 matches at Survivor Series. I'm sure, and like I said earlier, I hope we see a Raw versus SmackDown. Maybe we get maybe what they should do, they have 2 War Games matches, and then they have 2 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series matches, because when was the last time a Survivor Series match or a Survivor Series elimination match meant anything? Maybe Team Cena versus the Authority or something like that. I remember growing up and being that kid that was like, hell yeah, Survivor Series is going to come on. Team Raw, Team SmackDown. I'm going to pick Team Cena or Team Edge or Team Batista, whatever team it was that I liked at the time. I was like, hell yeah, let's go. And my friend might pick whoever else, and we would fight. We'd go back and forth. And it was just a good time. That was always one of my favorite things. And just for the past maybe even like 6-7 years, it just felt like Survivor Series has been Raw versus SmackDown, United States Champion versus Intercontinental Champion, World Champion versus World Champion, Tag Champion versus Tag Champions. And we've seen a lot of good matches with that. Not saying that we haven't, but it got to the point where it was just so predictable where we could be naming the matches a month in advance, because it's not like the people are going to defend their titles unless you're Brock Lesnar and you don't want to face Jinder Mahal and you make AJ Styles win the championship on Friday Night SmackDown because you're like, screw Jinder, I don't want to face him. But that's Brock Lesnar. I mean, I don't know. Vince McMahon isn't in charge though, so Brock just can't go do that. Triple H is going to tell you to go sit your ass back down. So, everybody, the men's match should be really interesting because that's what I think they should do. And then, like I said, with the Survivor Series match, let's talk a little bit about Survivor Series. Because if they do the women's match, and they do like a 5-on-5 women's, and they do a 5-on-5s men, who should be the captain? Because if they're not going to be in War Games, I feel like this is going to be the next big thing. Because that's 4 matches right there. I just named 4 matches. You have 2 War Games, you have 2 Survivor Series, and then I'm sure they do who knows? I mean, I'm sure they'll come up with something. I'm sure there's going to be like 6-7 matches. Because that's the other thing, people. Everybody has to get used to and get to realizing that we're not going to have pay-per-views that are 18, 17, 14 matches. I was being dramatic with the 18 matches. But you guys know what I mean. It's crazy sometimes. Some of these pay-per-views have long matches. But with the War Games match, War Games takes about 45 minutes, so that's 2 hours. You got to think about that. And then if we do have those 4 matches, I think that would be, or those 2 more matches, that would probably be an hour. That's 3 hours. So we'd probably only have 5 or 6 matches on this card. And I'm perfectly fine with that because these 2 War Games matches are going to steal the absolute show. It's going to be absolutely amazing in every single way. I just love War Games, people. I don't know about you, but I kind of want to go back and rewatch all of them now because that's just how much I love this pay-per-view. But the 2 other matches, who knows what they could be. They could be, I mean, we could see anything at this point. But for like I said, for the 5-on-5 men's and women's. So who could be the captains for the women's and the men? If they're going to do Raw versus SmackDown and they're going to do women versus men, you have to take, obviously, the biggest woman from Raw and from SmackDown. So, depending on when Charlotte Flair returns, maybe Charlotte Flair is a captain for the SmackDown or Raw team. And then maybe we see Ronda Rousey. Well, no, not even Ronda, because she'll probably be champion. I mean, she might be. I mean, who knows at this point. But I'm sure it's going to be some type of that. It's going to be a Charlotte, a Ronda. It's going to be a Flair, or not a fight, just said Charlotte. Oh my God. It's going to be somebody like that where we're going to have 2 high-profile stars. At least that's what I think they should do, at least. They better do this because if they, that's what Survivor Series is all about. It's all about that elimination match. I love the elimination matches. It's awesome. It's great. So I think that it would be like Charlotte Flair, obviously. Maybe we see Becky Lynch return soon. I don't know, depending on how Becky Lynch recovers. I know she's kind of taking a little bit of time off. She was recently on Ryan Satin's Out of Character podcast and talked a little bit about it. But it's one of those things that if you're going to do the 5-on-5 also, you got to make it as good as it is. And like I said about just having rivalries without titles, you could do that perfectly fine. And people would love it. I loved it, and it was great. It was great storytelling. And that's the one thing with Triple H that I know that we don't have to worry about, is the storytelling. Triple H knows what the hell he's doing, people. It's just okay. So, I would love to see that type of thing for the women. Now for the men, because we could go on about the women, it would probably be Charlotte Flair, probably a Natty on one team, Liv maybe, if Liv's done with Ronda at the time. I'm sure we could see, because obviously Damage Control, I think, will be too busy with War Games. We'll see probably if Aaliyah and Raquel aren't in it. I'm sure maybe we could see Nikita Lyons. Maybe they add NXT 2.0, or NXT, not NXT 2.0. NXT Maybe they add NXT to this, and maybe we see what we saw in 2019. Because if they do add an NXT, why not have Mandy Rose be the captain for NXT? You have Ron Breakker be the captain for NXT, and see what that happens. That would be great. I'm spitballing here, people. I'm fantasy booking is what I'm doing here right now. I'm having hope, baby. I got gold, baby. It's War Games. War Games has been announced. It's official. Tino's got some type of a high right now that's just feeling real good. And not even from the funny stuff that your boy Tino smokes. But everybody, I would love to see that. I would also, for the men though, for the captains, for the men, let's see Seth freaking Rollins. If Seth freaking Rollins isn't a champion, if Seth isn't what it is, like if Seth isn't at the top, because obviously we still don't know what's going on with Roman. We could do a whole nother podcast about that, about what the hell's going on with Roman and about whatever and what titles. But if they're not going to do that, and Roman's not going to be, if he's not going to be in War Games and he's not going to be at Survivor Series, I mean, which he better be. So I think he'll be worried about War Games. But if he's not, maybe he'll be the captain. But I do think that it should be Seth Rollins. And maybe he brings Bobby. Maybe he brings Tommaso Ciampa, The Miz. Maybe this is where we see The Miz and Ciampa finally break up or so. I don't know. I'm waiting for it to happen. I'm waiting for Tommaso Ciampa to turn on The Miz. I'm sure Austin Theory would be involved in some way, Mr. Money in the Bank. And then on SmackDown, of course, we got the Bloodline. But if they're gonna be too much, if they're not gonna be involved too much, I think the captain should either be Karrion Kross or Drew McIntyre. And honestly, it would probably be a Drew McIntyre. And then for SmackDown, I'm sure we'd see Braun Strowman. Braun! I'm back, baby. I can't deal with Braun Strowman sometimes, people. He's in phenomenal shape, though. Great shape, Braun. You're doing good. I don't know what he's going to do. And then maybe we see a Gunther. Maybe we see an Imperium if they're not going to be in War Games. We don't know what War Games men's is going to look like. We have a good idea for the women's. If anybody's got any ideas, we got 11 people in the stream. Let me know what you guys think for the men. I'm going to get to the comments in a minute once I'm done rambling on about everything. And then I'll answer everybody's questions and we'll get into a little bit of a Q&A. So drop your questions, everybody. Appreciate you guys all coming and stopping by, hanging out here on Tino's Time for a little bit. And like I said, that would be great to see Seth, maybe Seth and Drew have the captains, just something where it would be a more, and the other thing, I'll say it right now before I forget. I want to see a goddamn invasion. I want to see the last week before Survivor Series. I want to see these guys tear each other apart in every which way. Do what you did in 2019 when NXT came out in a tank on SmackDown. I was there live. Great, awesome moment that I will never forget also. That weekend was just awesome, guys. It was just a great weekend. I kind of wish I had my YouTube channel at the time. I would have done a vlog or something. But it was great. So I would really love to see that. Let's just make it feel like warfare. Let's make it feel like brand warfare. My brand is better than yours. I'm the better champion than you. I run Monday nights. I run Tuesday nights. I run Friday nights. Shit, bring AEW involved. Let's make it War Games, Survivor Series, NXT, and AEW. Let's do it. Put CM Punk and Kenny Omega in War Games, people. Let's do it. Let's put the Elite. Let's put everybody in there because it's down. We're all ready to go. It's down. I'm down for it, and it would be really good. I would just love to see that. But no, that's not going to happen. So, that's what I think would happen with the men. Drew, Seth, and Braun would be my picks for captains, obviously. And then a few members, like I said. Maybe we'd see Grayson Waller. Like I said, Braun Strowman. We could see Imperium, the tag team be involved, Alpha Academy. I'm sure we would see something like that, and I'm down with that. I love the elimination matches. Even if they don't last very long sometimes, like the opponents and the guys get eliminated very quickly, I still love the elimination aspect of it. So I really hope we do see the Survivor Series 5-on-5 matches. And also, of course, as this episode is about, we will be seeing 2 War Games matches. And as William Regal likes to say, because I can't do it that well. Let's hear from William Regal real quick.
In War Games! Of War Games! War Games! War Games!
War Games, baby. What about Pat McAfee? We forgot about the War Games match with Pat McAfee, Oni Lorcan. That was great. That was a great match with when Pat McAfee took on the Undisputed Era with Danny and Oni, and yeah. It was just great. Pat McAfee doing a Swanton Bomb off of the War Games is gonna be something that people are never gonna forget. So that's what I have for the Survivor Series. At least I think that will happen. Like I said, I'm sure we'll see a couple other matches. Maybe the titles will be on the line. Maybe we'll see a women's tag team match title. Well, if Damage Control, obviously we won't see that. But you guys know what I mean. I'm sure we're going to see a few other matches. I'm sure maybe it would be just a random jobber matches. Because in all honesty, they should only focus on these two matches, War Games, and then please, for the love of God, do the 5-on-5 Survivor Series match. Yes, it might be a lot, but it also would be a great pay-per-view, a great thing, and it would just be something that everybody would want to see. This brings everybody to watch Survivor Series, because the people that loved NXT Black and Gold are going to be more likely to go watch it, especially with the logo we saw. Remember, guys, the NXT 2.0 has been taped 2 weeks in a row, so we probably won't see any Black and Gold until we go into October and everything, but that's okay. We'll just have to deal with the 2.0 for a little bit longer, but we'll get over it. So, everybody, let's get into the chat. We got 12 people in the stream. Anybody have any questions, let me know. We got Steve in the building. What's up, Steve? So, everybody, thank you guys all for coming and stopping by. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about what I said, about everything going on. I just watched the SCW channel at Steve. He just went on and he just talked about what is going on at the live events. What is that dark and black thing? Could it be Bray Wyatt? Could it be somebody else? What is it? Karrion Kross getting a repackaging as his theme music? I don't know. It's a lot. So go check out his thoughts on the SCW Steve channel, SCW Wrestling channel, and go see what he has to say. But I don't know, people. That stuff's crazy. I don't know what that is. I would love to see Bray Wyatt, though. But that's not what this episode is about. Maybe we'll do one later on this week and talk about it. Dakota Kai betrayed Tegan Nox at War Games. That was the best thing Dakota did in her career. Chris, when I saw that live, man, I was like, oh my God. I was like, no way. Because I looked down for 2 seconds, and my friend tapped me. He goes, Trent. He goes, Trent, Dakota. I'm like, what? He goes, Dakota turned heel. And all of a sudden, I look and Dakota's beating the shit out of Tegan Nox in the cage, and I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, that's dope. I'm like, let's go. Ed's predictions is Damage Control, Sasha Banks, and Naomi versus Bianca, Alexa, Asuka, Raquel, and Shansi. Oh, thanks, Siri. Let me know what you find. I didn't even think about Shansi. Shansi did turn babyface on Friday. At least it seemed like. And she did help Raquel Rodriguez. Maybe Aaliyah just isn't up for it. And Shansi, wasn't Shansi in one of the women's War Games matches? I think Shansi was, actually. So yeah, I think Shansi would be a great opponent. We got Jocko in the building. What's up, Jocko? He says The Rock must return at Survivor Series. Make The Rock the captain of War Games. Put The Rock's ass in War Games. If you can somehow. What The Rock is cooking, everybody. Put The Rock in War Games. I think that would be great. Let's see it happen. What do you guys think? Let's see The Rock destroy War Games. Damage Control is going to celebrate their tag team championship win last week on Monday Night Raw tonight. Okay, thank you, Chris. Remember, guys, we will be going live in just a short time. In a long time, I guess we should say. It's going to be a long time. It's going to be a good time. But, everybody, make sure you guys all, where is it? Come and hang out with your boy Tino tonight on Monday Night Raw. And we're going to watch some NFL football. We're going to watch a doubleheader. It's the Eagles and Vikings, and it's the Bills and Titans. Come and hang out with Tino tonight. But that's tonight, so thank you, Chris. If you have anything else, let me know, man. If you have anything else that you know about something going on, let me know. I appreciate it. What's up, Jocko? The Rock must return. He says, Team Bloodline versus Team Drew McIntyre. I would love to see that, man. That's what I'm saying. Put Drew as the captain. Maybe him and Karrion Kross can get along for a minute. Wouldn't that be interesting? I would love to see that. I would love to see Karrion Kross and Drew McIntyre get along for a little bit and put him in War Games. Shit, put Scarlett in War Games. Let's see Scarlett's ass in War Games, you know? Let's see Scarlett get in the ring and whoop some ass. I would love to see that. That would be great. What's up? The Prince Has Spoken podcast. What's up? Thank you for coming and hanging out. We got the man, the myth, the legend in the building, listening while working, but enjoying these ideas, buddy. Thank you, Steve, for coming and hanging out. Everybody, like I said, go check out the SCW Wrestling channel. Go listen to his thoughts about what that red mist can mean, who it could be, what it is, and everything on his channel. He's live all the time. Got to give him a shout out, my man Steve. Who is the White Rabbit? Go find out on Steve's channel. I don't know who the White Rabbit is. Maybe it's Tino. Survivor Series 2017. SmackDown invades Raw and Raw invades SmackDown. 2017-2016, Chris, is also one of my favorites. I would love to see that. That would be great because even though Becky broke her nose, that moment is going to be one that we do not forget. We're never going to forget that one. We're going to remember it for a long time and be like, damn, do you remember when Nia elbowed her and did what she did and Becky's nose was bloody? I was like, hell yeah, I was watching it here and there. Like, it's great. I love when they invade each other. I love when you need to make it feel real. Because back in the day, when SmackDown vs. Raw video games were coming out and SmackDown vs. Raw were doing their thing and it was brand supremacy and everything, that's what it was all about, because I would be on SmackDown most of the time because I love SmackDown and most of my friends loved Raw. So I would be on the SmackDown side, I'd walk around with my blue, and my friends would walk around with the red, and it would be awesome. It was just great. 2017 was one of my favorites too. Eric, what is up, my man? Thank you for coming back to Tino's Time. I missed you. I haven't seen you in a while. He says Team Liv versus Team Bianca for both belts. Hey, we putting the belts on the line. Eric, what you trying to do, my guy? You trying to put all types of belts on the line and everything? I mean, hey, that would be interesting to see how they would do that. That would be really interesting to see. That would be, I don't even know how they would do that. Who would win the title? Eric, let me know. How would they win the title? We got Liv Morgan was supposed to save Raquel, but they changed it to Chauncey to save Raquel Rodriguez. Okay. I mean, hey, it just seems like they're setting it up a little bit. They're setting it up to the point where it seems like it's going to be, it's just going to happen at some point. He says, Chris also says, thank you, Chris, for coming and hanging out in the chat. Chris also says, Bayley debut at Survivor Series 2016, first ever Survivor Series. Chris, I actually remember that, and I remember thinking to myself, like, Bayley was the forgotten horsewoman. Let's be real here. Becky got called up, Charlotte got called up, and Sasha got called up, and they forgot about Bayley. And Bayley was in NXT. She was doing her thing. She was kicking everybody's ass. She was running through that women's division. And she was still down there. And when she finally got called up, I was just like in shock. Because I was like, damn. And then she was a tag team partner with Sasha Banks. I forgot what pay-per-view it was. I think it was like a Payback. I think it was Payback, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not. But quote me if I'm wrong on that. But I think it was a Payback. And then she also debuted on a Raw. And that was another tag team match that she did. So I loved Bayley when she finally, because I felt like she was the forgotten horsewoman. Bayley is going to be Raw Women's Champion at Extreme Rules. I could definitely see that. Apparently, she's getting her tank back too. Let's go. Chauncey got her tank back. I'm down for it. That is all. I've caught up in all the chat. Everybody keep commenting and chatting. Ask any questions you guys want. Let me know. I'll stay here live for another 20 minutes, 25 minutes. If anybody wants to leave any more questions, comments, concerns, anything, let me know. Talk some fantasy football. But let's talk a little bit more about these war games. Because War Games, I know we could go on, and I could talk about the cages, and I could talk about this, and Battleground it was. Battleground, Bayley and Sasha Banks. Yup. That tank would be, that tank. Okay. Battleground, Bayley and Sasha Banks versus Charlotte Flair and Dana Brooke. Yes, Sasha Banks, that's what it would, Battleground. I knew I was kind of close. Payback and Battle, the same thing. That tank, yes, Steve, that tank would be great. She should bring out a giant tank, and she should hit the ring like Brock Lesnar hit the ring with the tractor. And then she should climb on top of the tank. Can't say tank today. Top of the tank, and then jump on top of everybody on top of War Games. That's how Shansi should enter. I like it. Thanks for the plug, by the way. Of course, I got you, Steve. You always got to go check out my man, Steve. Go check out everybody in the IWC. They're all great people. So, War Games, everybody. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. It is also, we have to still remember, it is 2 months away. So it is the end of November. We still have Extreme Rules. We still have Crown Jewel. We have Logan Paul versus the head of the table, the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Is Logan Paul going to beat Roman Reigns for the Universal World Heavyweight Championship? Probably not. But, I mean, people have said it, and people are wondering, what do you guys think about it and everything? And I said it. Me and Steve did a podcast. Go check it out on Saturday. Your boy Tino made an uh-oh, and the ring light fell, and it was funny. Sorry, Steve, again about that. But I still think it's going to be, like, obviously Logan Paul is going to be impressive. He's going to do what he does. He's going to go out there and put on a show. It is at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday. So you know there's going to be a lot of kids that watch it. There's going to be a lot more people that watch it than people probably think, because Logan Paul will be on there. There's a lot of people, and a lot of kids especially kids that watch YouTube and will watch us all day. They love Logan Paul. So they'll go and watch Crown Jewel specifically for Logan Paul. My cousin called me and said, hey, you want to watch Crown Jewel specifically for Logan Paul? And I'm like, that's crazy. So I think, it's not the best situation, but it is what it is. And we're just going to have to move on from it. Because, hey, maybe Logan Paul should be involved in War Games. How about this one, guys? We got Bad Bunny's team versus Logan Paul's team. War Games. Let's do it. What do you guys think? We could put Machine Gun Kelly in there too. Let's put Machine Gun Kelly versus Logan Paul. I'd love to see that. He said, Eric goes and talking about football. The Texans' offense is shit. It's awful, man. It's garbage. Davis Mills is not going to be a squash. Yeah, I don't think. I also said this too, Chris. I think that I think Steve said it also too. The athletes, not the athletes, what's the word for it? I guess the content creators, the superstars that are not associated with WWE, that are more like YouTube, music videos, Bad Bunny, etc., especially as an example, Bad Bunny and everything. The celebrities are ultimate jobbers because they can go out there, they can put on a show, but they're not going to lose any steam. They're still going to go out. Logan Paul is going to go make a YouTube video the next day about how he fought Roman Reigns, and we'll probably all watch it. And hey, that's what it's supposed to be there for. And yes, Chris, like you said, it's not going to be a squash match. I think they're going to put on a good performance. They're going to put on a great match, and they're going to beat the hell out of each other. And I can't wait to see it. And obviously there's no way Logan Paul is going to win, but never say never with WWE. But, we've been talking a little bit about Logan Paul and Roman Reigns. War Games, guys, I am just so excited for it. I never thought it would be official. I talked about it, like I said earlier, in a lot of my shows, but it was one of those things that I thought was like, no way, it's not going to happen. They're not going to bring this back. And when I saw that this morning, I was like, I have to go on live. I have to come and talk to everybody. And I did earlier this morning put out my schedule, everybody. So go check out the schedule for Tino's time. But I also said there, any breaking news pops, your boy Tino will be here live for you guys. So War Games has been official. It's happening at Survivor Series. I cannot wait to see what happens for these next 2 months. It is in 2 months. It's in 67 days. because it's November 26th. It is now September 19th. So it is in 67 days, everybody. Let's get that countdown going. We do know about the men and women, or we do know about the women. We don't know too much about the men yet. We have to see what happens. We've all given our predictions. At least I have. Anybody else have any more predictions? I think that it would be really interesting, and it's just going to be a great show. And War Games is coming to the main roster. We've all wanted it, and it's finally happening in November, everybody. So, guys, that's all I got for you. I hope everybody enjoyed this breaking news here on Tino's Time, as we talked about the War Games breaking news. Triple H is bringing it back. If you guys didn't see the Ringer podcast, he brought it back, and he's bringing War Games back. This will not be Raw versus SmackDown. It will be much more story-driven, and that's the other thing. Story-driven. I didn't talk about that. Story-driven is great, because we're going to see matches that are about the story. That's why I said I feel like this is going to be like an NXT TakeOver War Games. We're going to see about 6-7 matches. We're going to see 2 War Games matches. One's going to start it, one's going to end it, and it's going to be a good show. But in the middle, he wants to put more stories on. He wants to have the pay-per-view mean something and not just focus on just the 2 War Games matches. Because you guys all know damn well, Vince McMahon was in charge. We would not be getting this. We would not be getting this at all. At all. And this is something, if anybody still thinks Triple H is not taking over and Vince has anything to do with it, this is another example. Because Triple H is bringing back War Games and Vince McMahon would not have. And that just, it's great to see the professional wrestling company that I love do everything that they were doing at the time that made professional wrestling great at the time. Because let's be real, people, at that time, Sasha and Bayley, the War Raiders, and Ricochet, and the Undisputed Era, and the War Games match with AOP and everything like that. That's when NXT was at its best. It was the best professional wrestling on television. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. There was nothing better than Black and Gold NXT, War Games, and everything, and all the takeovers. So, we're supposed to be getting TakeOver back. Maybe they'll call it Survivor Series War Games TakeOver. I know that's a lot to say, but I mean, I just want to see TakeOver back involved. So, everybody, I just wanted to say about the story-driven, because I kind of forgot he did say that in the quote, so I just want to make sure I said that. But everybody, I do appreciate you guys all coming and hanging out here with your boy Tino for a little bit here on this afternoon, this morning, wherever you may be, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I appreciate everybody in the UK, my man Steve, all of the people that do help me and do retweet my stuff, like, share, follow. I do appreciate all you guys. I can't do it without you guys. So, don't you guys all forget, I put out my schedule earlier, but if you guys did not see it, let's do it, and let's put it out one more time so you guys can all see it. So, tonight, we go live 5:50 p.m. Central Standard Time. So that's in about 4 hours, everybody. Come and hang out with your boy Tino tonight as we watch the NFL doubleheader. It's the Eagles and Vikings. And then we got the Titans and Bills. And then, of course, let's start Monday Night Raw. And with this news of War Games breaking, will we see a match start to build even more? Will we see something that we haven't seen? I don't know. But Monday Night Raw turned into a must-see show tonight. It starts at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I know it's late for the people in the UK, but honestly, I'd try to stay up if I were you, just to see what happens. I know it's a little bit of time, but I'm just really excited. I don't know. When this stuff happens, it just really excites me. So, we go live 5:50 p.m. Central Standard Time. Come and hang out with Tino and let's watch the show. And then tomorrow, for all you fantasy football freaks and geeks, let's get ready for another week of the fantasy football season as I preview week 3, let you know what happened a little bit in week 2, and I'll make sure to get you ready to set your lineups so you can take home a W in week 3. And then on Wednesday, we go live at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we're going to preview all of the matches that are going to go down at AEW Dynamite and AEW Rampage Grand Slam. We got 11, 13 matches, I think. I think it's a WrestleMania, but that's okay. We're going to preview all the matches. We're going to go through them, so everybody set your notification button for that episode. Come and drop your questions. come and ask me. Let's talk more about War Games. I'm sure more stuff's going to happen tonight on Raw, tomorrow on NXT. Any more breaking news happens, your boy Tino will be live. But if not, then to come and hang out on Wednesday, and we'll talk AEW Dynamite and AEW Rampage Grand Slam. And then after I preview the show, come and hang out on Wednesday night, and let's watch AEW Dynamite Grand Slam. It's Dynamite, baby. We're going to watch some Grand Slam. We're going to watch Jon Moxley and Daniel Bryan. We're going to see Pac defend his title. We're going to see the Acclaim. We're going to see Athena. We're going to see Cesaro. We're going to see a lot of things happen on Wednesday night. So make sure, come and hang out with your boy Tino on Wednesday. And then Thursday, I was going to do this episode on Thursday, but I was like, let's not wait. Let's go live and let's talk about it as it broke the day of. So Thursday, if any other breaking news happens, we'll go live. Your boy Tino will talk about it just like we did here. But if not, I'll be back on Friday night for WWE SmackDown and AEW Rampage Grand Slam, baby. We're going to see Darby Allin. We're going to see Sting. We're going to see Hobbs. We're going to see Jade. We're going to see Sammy, I'm sure. We're going to see Julia Hart, the House of Black. We're going to see Eddie Kingston. But before we get to Rampage, because remember, people, Rampage will be 2 hours this week. So it's a special 2 hour of Rampage. So we'll be live for those 2 hours. But before Rampage, we got SmackDown. What's going to happen on SmackDown? Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, Ridge Holland, and Butch Pete Dunne get a chance at the Usos for the tag team titles. Are we going to see Sami Zayn and Solo Sikoa and Jey Uso get involved and help each other? I don't know. But Friday's going to be one hell of a night. And it's going to be a fun night. Because we'll be live for 4.5 hours. Depending on how long Rampage goes. Because there's 8 matches on Rampage. And there's only 5 on Dynamite. So actually there's 13 matches to be exact. So Friday night, we'll be live 7 p.m. Central Standard Time till probably 11 o'clock, 10:30, whatever, whenever it ends. We'll be live until then. And then Saturday, another day. If there's any breaking news, we'll go live. But if not, we're going to take the day off. We're going to relax. And then we're going to get ready for another watch along of week 3 of the NFL football season, people. It's it's week 3 of the NFL season. It's the Packers, the Jaguars, the Titans, the Bills, the Jets, the Vikings. So many great matchups on week 3, I'm sorry. Weeks are flying by at this point. Week 3 of the NFL football season will be live next Sunday, 11:50 p.m. Central Standard Time. And everybody, that is this week's schedule of Tino's Time. I see we got a bunch more people joining us. Anybody got any questions, let me know. We've been here talking about War Games. We got Gamer Guy in the building. So, we got 16 people in the building. What's up, guys? How are you guys all doing? We got War Games. How does everybody feel about War Games being officially announced for Survivor Series? Let me know your comments, your concerns. I'm here still. Let me know. I'll stay live. If anybody has any more questions, let me know. I appreciate you guys all coming and hanging out today. We'll be live tonight at 5:50 p.m. Central Standard Time in exactly 4 hours to watch Monday Night Raw and to watch Monday Night Football. We got a double header, baby, and it starts at 6:15. So everybody, I'll do my thing one more time. If anybody has any more questions, comments, anything, let me know and let's talk about it. But if not, remember, guys, go follow us on SoundCloud and Spotify for the audio version of the preview shows and the fantasy football. And then go on Tino's Time and Tino's Time Wrestling on Instagram and Facebook. Go follow me on Tino's Time 1996, also on Twitter and TikTok. Your boy Tino does some TikToks and he has a good time. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit that notification button. And just come and hang out and join Tino's Nation. Gamer Guy asks, how many matches for the War Games for Survivor Series? Triple H has announced there will be 2 matches, 1 women and 1 men. And my predictions, I think it's going to be Damage Control, Sasha Banks and Naomi versus Alexa Bliss Asuka, Bianca Belair, and then some type of aspect of Raquel, Chauncey. I feel like Raquel will be in there because Raquel's been in there before. So I think we could definitely see that happen for sure. But I don't know who the last member of Bianca's team would be. Maybe it's Chauncey. Maybe we see a returning Tegan Nox. Maybe they do bring back Tegan Nox. And we see Tegan Nox join them. And Bayley and Tegan Nox bring in the rivalry goes full circle. And we go back to War Games. Just saying. It's a thing. We got Jonesy in the building. What's up, Jonesy? Thanks for coming and hanging out with Tino. Appreciate it. He says, hope we get some White Rabbit tonight on Raw. Yeah, man, I want to find out what that is. I want to know what is going on with the White Rabbit. I really hope they find a way to end Dexter Lumis tonight. Man, Jonesy, you really don't like the Dexter Lumis storyline. You're like, I just want this thing to end. But no, I agree with you. They need to do something with it because it's just becoming... He's stalking the Miz. He's doing this and that. He went into his house. He drew the picture of his kids, which was kind of weird. And I know people were kind of saying that the kids were home alone. But let's be real. If you watch Miz and Mrs., and if people don't, Miz's mom, dad, and Maurice's mom are all there. So I'm sure one of them had them. But yeah, they need to definitely do something. He says, Gamer Guy says, okay, nice. Can't wait for it, man. I can't wait. November 26th. It's going to be awesome. They won't use Tegan Nox. She is injury prone, sadly. Yeah, I know, man. She is, and it sucks. It was just, fantasy booking over here. Let's dream, right? I can see him doing something stupid like pulling the Miz under the ring. It's going to be like, he's going to pull the Miz under the ring and they're going to go to, what was that? Little People's Court or something that they had with DX and Hornswoggle, and then they had somebody as the plane fit. Oh, that was great. They should do that. That would be so funny. But I mean, yeah, they're gonna probably do something like that, and I don't know where it's going. Are we gonna see a match? Are we gonna see Indy? Are we going to see that? Like, what's going to happen next? That's what I want to know. Because I said it yesterday while you were in Rated R Wrestling doing the Rated R Wrestling report. Go check out Jonesy and Rated R Wrestling, everybody. Jonesy does some good stuff. He was recently at Clash at the Castle. Him and Steve and NX Steve did a show and they did the reaction. So go check that out. Jonesy, who you got, Seth or Bobby? I have Seth Rollins winning tonight. I know. I'm going bold. I'm taking Seth freaking Rollins, man. I gotta take the man. It's been 900 days since this man has held a title. And if you're not gonna have Roman Reigns drop one of the titles, if you're not gonna have Roman Reigns put a title on each brand, then have Seth Rollins be the United States champion, be the top guy at the top of Raw, and have him do it. Nothing against Bobby Lashley. I love Bobby. But I think Seth Rollins should win the United States champion tonight. So, how do you feel about that, Jonesy? Who you got tonight? Anytime, my man, I got you. Anytime. He says, Gamer Guy says, Seth Rollins needs a win. I'd like to see Seth, but Riddle has to get heat back this week. He is slowly becoming Jobber Riddle. Jobber Riddle. I love it. Jobber Riddle. Yeah, honestly, that was my other thought. If Seth doesn't win clean, I could definitely see some type of disqualification BS happening tonight where Matt Riddle gets involved, and then we see that, and then they set up a match for Extreme Rules, and then Bobby is still the champion and this and that. Maybe, but I'm praying to the wrestling gods that Seth freaking Rollins wins tonight. Chris says Matt Riddle will cost Seth Rollins the United States champion and Bobby Lashley will retain. I could see it happen. I just hope we avoid Omos this week and Braun destroying the tag. Man, please. You guys talked about it. Steve talked about it. Everybody's talked about it. What was the point of coming in there and destroying the tag team division if you're just going to be on Friday Night SmackDown? When you guys could have just had him go to SmackDown and he could have beat up Otis or something because they're having a match on SmackDown this week, and it just makes no sense. So please stay away from the tag team division. And Omos, I don't want to see Omos's ass on television no more. Gamer Guy says, I miss Randy Orton. I did see something about Randy Orton that he said that he will be coming back at the Royal Rumble. So we'll have to see what happens, everybody. I don't know. Too legit to play. He says, I miss Brock Lesnar. Man, kinda. A little bit. Not really. Theory versus Owens should be great. I'd love Owens to somehow steal the briefcase. So Jonesy, let me know how you feel about this. I've been thinking about this a lot, and I've been thinking if they're gonna do the Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory rivalry or something, does Austin Theory need the briefcase? Yes, Kevin Owens, maybe Matt Riddle, somebody, but what about maybe Johnny Gargano winning it? I know he just came back and everything, but what if Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory have themselves a match and they fight each other for the briefcase and Johnny Gargano is Mr. Money in the Bank? I don't know. Just saying. It's out there. Maybe. He's been booked really bad, Jonesy says. Yeah, what is it? He's only won, 3 matches? I think at one point he was 0-7 after he won Money in the Bank. It's like, what are we doing here with my man Austin Theory? Austin Theory the GOAT. Austin Theory the man. What are we doing here? I don't, they think he's the face of the next face of WWE. Theory does not need the briefcase. I'd like to see triple threat ladder match. Theory, Gargano. Jonesy, I'm signing you up for WWE Creative, my guy. You came up with that in 2 minutes. How is that if you can do that sitting at home, why can't these WWE Creative guys do that? Let's see it. Book it, everybody. Put it out there. Jonesy Chats Wrestling. Put it out there. Triple threat match, ladder match for the briefcase. Extreme Rules. Because that's another thing. Because I might do a podcast on this depending on what happens. Because we did see that Liv Morgan and Ronda Rousey will be no disqualification Extreme Rules match most likely. Extreme Rules better have every goddamn stipulation to its pay-per-view. Because if we're going to have these nonchalant pay-per-views that have themed matches and we only see 1 or 2, I'm going to scream on the top of my lungs. Because I'm overseeing the Extreme Rules having 1 Extreme Rules match. Hell in the Cell having 2 Hell in the Cell matches. Survivor Series having 1 Survivor Series match. They're adding WARGAMES, so we're good with that. I just want to see stipulations added to Extreme Rules. Remember when it was the one-night event that went extreme? And it's the only night event the WWE superstars can turn on their dark side or whatever the hell it was. I want to see it. That Dominic versus Edge match was unfair. Dominic and Edge, apparently they did that to Edge because Edge is going to be taking time off to heal up a little bit. So it should be really interesting to see what they do with Dominic. Who's going to help Rey Mysterio? I said it yesterday on Jonesy's and the Rated R Wrestling channel. One answer, people. One answer. Legado del Fantasma and Santos Escobar. That's it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Your boy Tino's hyped today. Santos Escobar, Legado del Fantasma. Go and help our boy Rey Mysterio out. Because that's what's going to happen. And that's what I think should happen. So, yes, Dakota Kai called Bayley a living legend. Yes, she is. Bayley is a living legend. Rey needs some urgent help tonight. Hopefully, Santos Escobar, Jonesy, facts. Book it. I'm ready. Who's your pick on Liv versus Ronda? It's the fact. It's suicide. This is where Liv loses it. If Liv survives this, they obviously believe in her. But I don't see it happening. They're already building up the Ronda Rousey, the Shayna Baszler fight. We've seen a couple backstage segments. I would love to see that. Maybe they tag team together because the women's division has no tag teams. What are they doing with the tag teams division? Even though Dakota Kai and Io Sky have it, is it just going to be a prop and them just walk around with the titles? Or are we going to see rivalries? Like, let's see something, because I want to see it. Chris says, it's definitely Suicide Jonesy, and I'm taking Ronda to win that. I heard Edge will be back at Extreme Rules. I didn't hear that. Chris is putting out bold predictions. We got retaining. She's retaining at Extreme Rules, Chris says. Chris, bold prediction. Cheers for great stream. I have to go now. Keep up good work. I enjoy your stream. Thank you, Jonesy. I appreciate you coming by, asking some questions, hanging out for a little bit. I do appreciate everybody that has come and hang out with your boy Tino. We are all caught up on all the comments and questions and concerns, everybody. Your boy Tino's still here. Anybody else got any more questions? You want to talk about anything going on? We got War Games official for Survivor Series. Triple H is the GOAT, the man, the myth, the legend. He's just greatest of all time. I love the man, Triple H. He's doing it all. I love it. Triple H, you're the GOAT, man. You're the real MVP of the WWE. That's what I got to say about you, because you're the man. I'm so happy. I'm just so happy that War Games is back in WWE, everybody. And it's coming to the main roster. So, everybody, as I said, I showed you guys my schedule one more time. Let's do it. We got tonight, Monday Night Raw, and the NFL doubleheader. We go live, 5:50 p.m. Central Standard Time. Come and watch Austin Theory and Kevin Owens. We got Bobby Lashley and Seth Rollins. And we got two great football games. And then tomorrow, we got the Week 3 Fantasy Football Preview Show. So, make sure to come and hang out with your boy Tino, and let's watch the preview show. And let me talk about everything that I think that you should do to set your lineups for Week 3 to make sure you guys win your week. We got another comment, my man Chris. Let me get the banner off. Poor Chris. Okay, there it is. And then let's see what Chris has to say. Bianca Belair versus Bayley for the Raw Women's Championship at Extreme Rules. Happens Bayley wins the women's match. Chris, I agree, as long as it is a match in a stipulation. Steel cage, Extreme Rules, belt on a stick, Bianca's EST on a stick. I don't care. Just have some type of stipulation. So everybody, we still leaving the comments open, everybody, as your boy Tino goes through the schedule one more time. I keep saying one more time, but that's okay. I like hanging out with you guys. And then Wednesday, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, we'll be going live. We'll be talking about it. AEW Dynamite and AEW Rampage Grand Slam preview show. So come and hang out. Drop your questions. Drop your concerns. And let's talk about everything that's going to happen at Dynamite. And then let's talk about everything and more that may be announced by then on War Games. I Quit match. Book it, Chris. I Quit. I love it. We haven't seen an I Quit match in a minute. And then Wednesday night, everybody, come and hang out. Come and hang out with your boy Tino as we watch AEW Dynamite and AEW Grand Slam. It's going to be one hell of a show. So after we're done previewing the show, come and hang out with your boy Tino and let's watch it. And then Thursday, like I said earlier, I was going to do this show on Thursday, but I said, why wait? Let's do it now. So on Thursday, boy Tino's going to take a day off, unless if there's any breaking news that happened like today, we'll be going live like we did today. And then on Friday, we'll be back for another watch along and another live stream of AEW Rampage and WWE Friday Night SmackDown. 4 hours, we'll be live until Rampage goes off air. And then I also forgot, Tuesday, can't forget about Tuesday. It's NXT, baby. It's done with the black and gold, or it's done with the Fruity Pebble colors and whatever the hell they were trying to do. We got white and gold. And yes, like I said, it's 2 weeks in advance that it has been taped. So we won't see this logo for a minute. But I thought, why not? Let's make the new thumbnail and let's start it early. So NXT Tuesday night. Don't forget about it, everybody. Like your boy Tino just forgot about it. But then let's get back. We got another comment. Chris says Bayley tore her ACL on July 9th. So I Quit match was canceled. Yes, I remember, Chris. I remember that. And I remember being so disappointed not being able to see that match that great, phenomenal. Book it. Extreme Rules, I Quit match. Triple H says he wants to focus on story. That's long-term booking. That's long-term booking at its finest. So I'd love to see it. And then finally, after everybody, as another week ends, we go and we watch week 3 of the NFL fantasy football season and the NFL season. Let's go. Ready? Come and hang out with your boy Tino as we watch all the games that are going to go down in week 3 of the NFL season. It's going to be another great week, so we'll be live on Sunday to watch all the games. And that is all I have for you guys. Thank you guys all again for coming and hanging out here on the live stream. The breaking news of Triple H bringing War Games to Survivor Series in November. I cannot wait to see what match is getting announced for the show. We do still have Extreme Rules and a Crown Jewel, so we still do have a little bit of pay-per-views, still a couple more pay-per-views to go, but I still think that we'll see a little bit of rivalries built, and we'll probably be able to tell in like a month what is going to happen. Chris says Bayley is coming home Monday Night Raw in Juan Jose, California. In San Jose, California, I think he was trying to say. So, we got Bayley tonight, everybody. You guys saw the schedule. It's going to be another great week here on Tino's Time. I appreciate everybody that did come and hang out here today. Leave your questions and comments and concerns. I'll be live at 5:50 p.m. Central Standard Time tonight. So if you guys want to come and hang out again, and we could talk about it, and we could talk about much more, because we'll be live for 5 hours tonight. So everybody, come and hang out. Let's watch football, and let's watch Monday Night Raw. But lastly, before we go, remember, go follow Tino's Time and Tino's Time on Spotify and SoundCloud to listen to the audio version of the fantasy show and the preview shows as they come out. Tino's Time and Tino's Time Wrestling on Facebook and Instagram. Tino's Time 1996 on Twitter and TikTok. Hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. Join Tino's Nation, because Tino's continuing to taking over YouTube and taking over the podcast world. Hit that like button, notify, subscribe, do that thing, help your boy Tino out. And until we go live in exactly 4 hours to watch a doubleheader of Monday Night Football and Monday Night Raw, this is your boy Tino signing out, because War Games is back.